Hello, everybody! Meow, 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 the fuckers! Welcome in, everyone! Hello! I have pizza in my throat. Hello! Oh my god, honey! Congrats on first! And welcome in everybody else who didn't get first. Welcome in Amelia, Chris, Rogue, Honey, Mew, Orca, Ocean, Pokey, Connor,
Bitch,
and everyone else lurking. Bitch, you're pretty. Thank you so much. I'm shitting bricks, y'all. Oh my god. I don't know, man, you guys. I'm skilled. I have Tangia off and shit. My sound alerts are pretty low, just in case. Snackies, we just ate a pizza. Thank you for the milk and the booster chicken. Oh my god. I'm skilled. I don't know, man. I've been wanting to talk to you guys about this for a real long time. Say something so the Twitch counts my view. Thanks. Thank you, dongs. Okay. All right, besties, buddies, and pals. Meow, 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 the fuckers! For those of you who do not know me, I am Rizu Mayonaka. I'm a cat girl who does cat things, which basically means whatever the fuck I want. And sometimes that means spending 3.5 years making a motherfucking movie right out of college. So, you know, oh god, I feel like there's something in my eye. But, you know, I hope that you guys enjoy the stuff that we're about to talk about. You know, please enjoy the trailer for the Twits. Meow, 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 meow. My eye hurts. Hold on, let me move. Ba-dam. Okay.
It's a special new kind of spaghetti for my special guy.
We are not like everyone else.
Once upon a time, there were two terrible twits.
We're one of a kind.
The twits hate everything, especially each other.
Worms! You're eating worms! You grizzly old grunion!
Turmoil tonight. The Twits declared war on some local orphan children.
Where are they?
We're all gonna die!
No one's gonna die, Harold. I am going to bring those jerks to justice.
Your no-good children stole our muggle bumps.
My who stole your what?
Him!
Nobody panic.
My daddy bursts some stress balls sometimes.
It's just something that happens when I get a little anxious.
What kind of story is this?
Emotionally complex,
You take all the good out of life.
with highbrow themes
Your family needs you.
and lowbrow comedy.
Let me show you my diarrhea. Diorama. What?
I don't want to live in a world where hate wins.
Let us in.
I don't think we'll be doing that today.
This is no normal story.
The heck?
The Twits.
So that was the trailer for the movie that I worked on. I know, it's silly. It's fucking weird. It's silly. We got worm fucking spaghetti. We got cheese spray attacks. Okay, we have it all. Okay. Oh my god. I don't know. I didn't write it. But yes, so welcome a new one. How are you? I'm doing great. Today we're talking about what I did for the Twits, the Netflix animated movie based off of Roald Dahl's short story. They put worm spaghetti in just for Rizu. God. Oh yeah, definitely. What do you like more, the story or the art style? The art style. God, I am absolutely in love with the art style. Well, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it probably in this bit, but yeah. So unfortunately, even though I love the art style, I am not an artist. I work in production management. Wow. You don't know what the fuck that is probably. And you know what, besties? That's okay, because we're gonna fucking talk about it. I'm not an artist. I'm not a writer, but I'm still cool, I promise. I promise. Okay. Is it because of the mac and cheese I kept bringing up? No. I don't even think that I knew you. But I started working on this silly little movie. Yes. This is me. Meow meow motherfuckers. Rizu works in animation production. Yeah, that's the name that we're using today. Rizu Mayonaka. Rizu Mayonaka. Okay. If you're not an artist, who the fuck drew my concept? Shit. Okay, well, I wasn't an artist on this movie. Don't slap me in my own chat, Shady. Welcome in, Shady. I'm still gonna call you a stinky cat. That's fine. That's fine, buddies and pals. Whatever the fuck you wanna do. All right. Besties, buddies, and pals. The rules. So basic bitch, I'm being very vulnerable, talking to you guys about my previous job, you know. I am talking only about my experiences, the basic bitch of the animation pipeline, and my opinions. You know, nothing that I say is to be associated with Netflix Animation Studios or whatever the heck. I'm literally just talking about what my life has been like in the past 3 years. Okay? Oh my god, thank you, Newman. I appreciate it. But yeah, so yeah, you know, like I said, I'm being brave, sharing this part of my life with you. God, oh my god, it's so nice. It's so nice to finally be able to talk about it. I could have, you know, we know many people who work in animation who are also streamers who are very open about working in animation, but I don't know. I always find it hard to explain, you know, like, oh yeah, I work in animation. And it's always like, oh, so you're an animator. Oh, so you're an artist. And it's like, no, I'm not. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until the movie that I worked on comes out so that I can have proof of what I did. So that was my thinking. So, besties, buddies, and pals, basic bitch rules. Yeah, please do not ask me doxing questions. Please don't say doxing statements or assumptions and stuff. You will be timed out or banned. I have my mods here in check, my little soldiers, my motherfucking mods. Thank you guys for being here today. I appreciate you. I promise, you know, I never truthfully expect my mods to be on standby, but today was really important to me. So thank you everybody who's able to be here today. I appreciate you. Oh my god, new one, thank you for the sub to new. From new to new. Thank you so much, I appreciate it. But yes, it's kind of like me with aerospace engineering. While I went to school to come up with designs for planes, my work was on the plane and lifetime upkeep. Exactly. And we are going to talk about that definitely as well. But like I said, you know, please do not ask me questions about my personal life. Please, you know, my name, my location, my current job position, my current workplace, that is all private, you know. All you need to know is that I'm a silly little cat girl on the internet. And I also worked on this movie. And what else? I was gonna say something else. Yeah, please, be respectful. I appreciate it. I don't know. I feel like my community is pretty chill. So please, yeah. All right, besties. Everyone knows Rizu's full-time job is trying to keep the Ghoul Gang. I know, it's trying to keep the Ghoul Gang alive, and it's really hard. Yeah, chisme everyone. Hola, DK, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás, DK? Ay, Dios mío. Okay, so to summarize, you guys, I am Rizu Mayonaka. I worked on a movie called The Twits. It's available on Netflix now. I work in production management. I am not an artist. I am not an animator. So what the hell does that mean, besties, buddies, and pals? Well, first off, just assuming that nobody really knows how the animation pipeline works, we're gonna go ahead and we're going to watch like a 5 to 6 minute video really quick, kind of just describing the animation pipeline and all the different departments. And like I said, it's 5 to 6 minutes-ish long. Please be patient with me. You will be more educated about that. Honestly, it's pretty interesting. So I hope that you guys enjoy it. Okay? Okay.
Have you ever watched a movie, played a video game, or seen a TV show and noticed the amazing 3D animation? This art form has been around since the 1960s, but it didn't become mainstream until the release of the classic movie Toy Story in 1995. Creating 3D animation is a complex process that requires excellent attention to detail and creativity.
What are you doing?
Escaping.
The heart!
Forget it, you'll never get it back. Besides, we got a better one.
Every animation begins with a simple idea. Bringing that idea to life involves a big group of artists working together. They're divided into teams called departments, and each department has its own job to do. This organized system of teamwork is called the animation production pipeline. In early development, a small team of artists creates concept art character design and storyboards. After the approval of the visuals, they go to the next department.
My shop, it was just robbed. Look, he's getting away. Well,
In the modeling department, modelers use specialized software to interpret the designs into 3D sculptures. They then work on UV mapping, which helps apply textures to the models accurately. After these detailed
UV
models are
mapping fucking
approved,
sucks, by the way.
they're sent
It's a
to the
nightmare.
rigging department. Riggers give the characters the ability to move by creating special controls for the animators to use. To streamline this intricate process, automation through scripts is often utilized, allowing the same controls to be applied across multiple characters efficiently. While rigging is underway, the look department focuses on developing the appearance of elements such as skin, hair, and clothing within the scene. They enhance these objects by adding textures and determining how they react to light, ensuring they appear realistic and visually appealing in the final animation.
Delivery! I gave you the special since you're the only Madrigal kid with no gift.
Following the look department, the animation team takes over, breathing life into the characters and driving the narrative forward. After meticulous crafting, animations are encoded into a geometry format, preserving each pose for every frame of the animation. This is crucial for later simulation and adding vitality to the scenes. Meanwhile, the simulation department handles elements that enhance the performance, such as secondary items, as well as intricate elements like water, hair, and cloth that are too complex to be animated manually. If you're eager to learn how to make production-quality game-ready 3D assets, we highly recommend diving into the Creating Game Assets in Blender 3.6 course by Marteza Ebrahimi. With over 6 years of industry expertise, Marteza will guide you through modeling, UV unwrapping, hand paint texturing, and lighting inside Blender. This course offers a clear step-by-step approach to the 3D creation process. If you're keen on mastering these skills, make sure to explore the course.
I can't quite see. Anyway, okay.
Now let's delve back into the subject.
Yeah, let's delve back into the subject.
The next stage in the 3D production pipeline is rendering. Rendering involves generating images to create a sequence ready for final assembly. It's a crucial step where complex scenes could take up to 24 hours for a single frame, requiring patience. During rendering, elements such as shading, texture mapping, shadows, reflections, translucency, depth of field, and motion blur are formulated into the sequence.
Without rendering, everything looks weird.
None of them understand me. I'm supposed to play music.
Finally, we reach compositing, where the finishing touches are applied. This includes tasks like color correction and adding elements to enhance the creativity of the sequence.
Oh my god, honey.
Compositing gives the final polish to the rendered frames, ensuring they meet the desired visual standards before being presented to the audience.
I love waiting
The
for us
process
to
of
render.
animation
Yeah.
takes a lot.
Yeah.
The pipeline may not always be linear, and sometimes departments have to send files back and forth, but these departments all work together to help foster an idea and make it into a reality. And that's what makes up the animation production pipeline.
Sorry.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content like this.
Yeah, because this is
We also
actually
invite
really,
you to join our Discord community,
motherfucking
where
educational. So I will go ahead and I'll post these links to the videos and stuff later on in my Discord. But yeah. Can I bring the rat to the Discord? Is the rat not already in the Discord? I swear they are. Anyway, maybe later. But so this is a quick summary of the animation pipeline. If you guys want to go deeper into things, there is a 15-minute video by did you even ask if she wanted to be in there? Anyway, there's a 15-minute video by DreamWorks actually about the DreamWorks pipeline. So we can totally watch that at the end if you really want to. If not, like I said, I'm gonna link it. So anyway, all right, besties, buddies, and pals. I am chewing on a cough drop. I'm so sorry. Where's my wrapper? Hold up, let me spit it out. Oh my god. All right, besties, let's go into the next thing. So like we said, you know, the animation pipeline, it is not technically linear. It will be going back and forth, but we have pre-production, production, and post-production. You know, it goes from the idea to the story, the script, you know, the storyboard, the animatic, to, you know, the designing, which is happening at the same time as like storyboarding and stuff, you know. And then in production, you got the layout, you got the modeling, the texturing, the rigging, the animation, the VFX, the lighting, the rendering. And then after that, post-production, the compositing, the VFX, the color correction, and the final output. And that doesn't even include the music aspect of everything. So yeah. Did you make the PowerPoint yourself? I did. Yes. So the PowerPoint has very small bare bones. It started off, I think last year, the year before, I actually made a presentation about what I used to do at my job for my team. So I copied that over and I rewrote the PowerPoint to be more broad. But yeah, scoring, voice acting, mixing, and rendering, exactly. It does not include like any of the motherfucking, yeah, the scoring, any of the voice acting, or even like the scratch acting. It's a bunch of stuff. So in all these different departments, in all these different stages, who is helping streamline everything and make everything understandable, and make everything flow smoothly? The production management team. Yes, who helps all these creatives? The production management team. Okay, so the production management team, as defined on the Disney Animation website. You know, if you're not gonna take my word for it, my friends, take Disney's word for it. Production management oversees the entire production schedule. To complete our films on time, this team is able to balance and prioritize needs across all departments, from visual development to post-production. The glue that binds us. As part of a film leadership team, the production management team empowers artists to tackle day-by-day challenges while keeping the larger production goals in mind. Rizu's the one who yells at people to do their effing job. So yes, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. You're not wrong. Rizu is animator lube. glue, but yes. Oh my god. Yes, exactly. I heard Rizu was the one who did the hairballing stunts. Oh my god. And it's funny because there is hairballing. Shut up, New. Okay. Production management helps with several responsibilities, included but not limited to proposing the budget to the studio, getting it approved, coming up with an overall schedule for studio screenings, coming up with schedules per department to meet those deadlines, supporting the artists, the editors, the directors so that they can focus on their own tasks, and sending deliverables to partner studios, ingesting deliverables from the partner studios, and more. Production management equals slaves, supervisors as defined by Disney. Oh god. But yeah, you guys, I don't know. Who do you think keeps track of like all the different scripts that a writer sends? Production. Who do you think coordinates meetings between these like 60 different people? Production. You know, it's all of this. It's literally just, it is basically just management. You know, if you're on any other type of project, it's basically just management. But it's helping out these other people. It's helping out these artists, these animators, these editors, the writers, and the director. Okay, so going back to me, to Rizu. No wonder Rizu's so good at motivating me to do my chores, yeah. What do you think produced the results? Production. Exactly. The artist can't produce results without production lighting a little fire under their butt. So my life story, basic bitch. In May of 2021, I graduated from university with a bachelor's in animation and art. For our final animation short, like in your final like last semester and second to last semester, you are able to do an animated short. And so in the first semester, you're supposed to plan out that short. And in the second semester, you're supposed to do production and post-production. But I wasn't able to do that exactly. What ended up happening during that class, during the second semester, the last semester, what ended up happening was me and a group of 5 other students wanted to make a 3D animated short while everybody else was doing 2D. So we pitched all of our stories that we had made during the first semester, and we chose one. And with that one, we decided we had a month. We had a month to model and to rig and to build everything. All the characters, all the props, all the environments. And then we used the other few months in that last semester to animate and, you know, finish post-production of this animated short. The short was not absolutely fucking amazing, right? I didn't go to fucking Cal Arts. You know, I didn't make a fucking, like, 20-minute short animation, okay? But when I was on this little team of students on our production short, on our animated short, I volunteered to be the production manager. So when my thought process was that I actually wanted to be a 3D animator. So throughout my second half of college, I wanted to be a 3D animator, but in order to get hired by all of these big companies, you need a way in. So I thought that a way for me to get into a company would be to apply for a production internship. To apply as a production internship, right? And I was like, well, if I want to get into a production internship, then I should be the production manager on this animation short that we have in school. So I volunteered, nobody else volunteered, everybody was like, okay, Rizu, you got this. So I became the production manager. And what that meant was basically everything that production does, which means that I took notes in every meeting with our teacher. I gave our notes to our group mates. I made a schedule for everybody to meet our final deadline, checked in with my group mates on their process, reallocated responsibilities when needed. For example, I was a more experienced animator than the director, which was another student on our team. And he had taken on a harder animation sequence, a harder shot. And I was like, here, let's switch. I will do that harder shot because I know more about how to 3D animate like a run cycle than you, and you can do this one, which I already blocked out, and you kind of just have to clean it up. So I was able to do that, and we finished everything, and it was great. We actually finished our fucking final project a week early, which was crazy. So during the final review, during the final review of the, you know, the animated short, my teacher was like, yeah, you know, like I was watching your communications in your Discord and you did really good. And my classmates, my group mates were like, yeah, like we couldn't have done it without our production manager. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess I'm good at this. You know, and I was like, I guess I'll work in production management. So after that, when I graduated from college, I went back into my portfolio websites and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I know how to do all of this, but I actually want to work in production. I went onto like my LinkedIn and like my, you know, other social media, and I was like, hey, this is me. These are my credits. This is what I can do. But I want to work in production management. And because of that, I was contacted by Netflix. So let me take a quick break to read chat super quick. It also serves to your knowledge, Rizu, of being so young in the industry and in precision of management. Connecting the different disciplines, I assume you have at least a solid demonstrable ability. Thank you! Yeah! Production helps artists be like, hey, by the way, draw your due dates tomorrow. Literally all the time, dude. Also, Ikama, thank you, gracias. And if you don't think it'll be on time, then that's fine. We'll find another way. Takes out the whip. Oh my gosh. It's a lot of negotiating and being like, oh, can we pay you for overtime? Maybe a little bit. Oh, we can't. Okay, but this has to be done like on Monday then. Okay. And then it's like, you know, well, what else gets affected? What else gets affected because you didn't finish your project on time? So it's that. It's a lot of that. All right. So then in June 2021, a month after I graduated from college, I was at my library job. I was chilling and I got an email. I checked the email and it was by a Netflix research recruiter. And I'd never heard of this before. And they were like, hey, I was wondering if you wanted to work as a production assistant on this show. And I was like, this is a scam. Because at the time, I was getting a lot of scam emails being like, oh, you want to be a graphic designer? Here, I'll totally hire you. And I was like, this is a scam. Why would Netflix contact me? For what? For what? I'm a little fucking baby. I'm a nobody. Why would Netflix contact me? So I was like, this is a scam. And I did a bunch of research. And I checked the Netflix domain, like the email domain, right? And it was at netflix.com. And apparently that is Netflix's actual domain. And I was like, oh shit. Okay. I think this is real. So I contacted them back and I was like, hey, like I would love the opportunity to apply to this. And they were like, great. And from there, I did I did a phone call interview with a research recruiter who told me the basics of what the project was. And then after that, I did a video call with the production manager and the line producer. And I prepared myself for the interview. I asked a bunch of silly little questions. And then, you know, like a week later, I got contacted and they were like, yeah, so they want to go with you. And I was like, okay, really? Okay. I don't know. So shout out to my Netflix research recruiter, who I actually am still in contact with today, who is great. Thank you for taking a chance on me. I literally asked her, I was like, how'd you find me? And she just said, the internet. So, you know, therefore, that goes to show you, you guys update your public stuff. Update your public fucking, like, you know, your LinkedIn, your portfolio websites and shit. Keep that shit updated. People are looking. Thank you, Connor. So that was in June 2021. They called me. And then by July 2021, I was working at Netflix Animation as a production assistant for the Twits, the limited animated series. Wow. Wow. So from then on, a year later, in March of 2022, so when I started on the Twits, it was in like the beginning, the first year of quarantine. So everything was remote, and that was great. But by 2022, things started opening up again, right? So I was like, well, I live very far from the office that this is supposed to be in. And I was like, I need to move closer to work. So in March of 2022, I abandoned everybody that I ever knew and loved. I left everyone that I ever knew and loved to move closer to work and follow my dreams. So, just like Rizu Mayonaka. Also in March 2022, I took that silly little opportunity to debut as Rizu Mayonaka, the silly little cat girl on Twitch. So, like, you guys, I was planning. I was like, I'm moving and I'm gonna become a Twitch streamer. So, I timed it all to happen in March. So, yes, that was my Rizu Mayonaka debut. I started streaming in the middle of March 2022, and then on April 1st, 2022, I debuted my regular Rizu model. Ta-da! So you guys, fucking a month out of college, I get contacted. A month later, I'm working at fucking Netflix Animation. A year later, I move to be closer to work. And then I become a Twitch streamer. You guys, I'm on such a fucking high. What can go wrong? What can go wrong, chat? We got canceled. We got canceled. Oh my god. I literally just moved. I literally just moved. And a couple of months later, our show got canceled, along with a couple of other shows. But our show gets canceled. What the fuck? I literally just spent like thousands of dollars. And I remember when this happened, I was pacing around my apartment like crazy. I was like crying. I called multiple people and I was freaking out. But my team was all like, listen, it's okay. It is okay. Why is it okay? It's okay because we were not dead yet, bitch. We're not dead yet. Our fucking team locked in. Our writers and our director wrote a new script condensing the series into a movie. And our production leadership went and they did whatever the heck it is they do, you know, predicting the budget and shit. And they pitched it to Netflix leadership. And they're like, listen, you want to cancel the series? That's okay. But here, something better. A movie. And Netflix was like, yeah, okay. Sure. And it's funny, because Cartoon Brew wrote an article about this. Cartoon Brew is this little, reporting website that's very obviously cartoon news related, animation news related, Hollywood news related. And they wrote about us being canceled. And we were like, oh shit, okay. So what their article said, as our team worked very hard to, not get canceled completely. They wrote, Roald Dahl's The Twits, not dead yet. This project was originally developed as an animated series, and it will now be produced as a feature film. Something better, money, a movie, so you can still squeeze money out of this idea. Oh god. What's up, Aquabars? Quiero la atención de esto. Oh my god, you guys, hold up. You missed out on my on my dramatic lore. Welcome in, Raiders! Oh my god, thank you, Aquamisa. Thank you, Aqua, so much for the fucking raid. I hope you had a wonderful stream. What's up, Galaxy? We'll start. Thank you for the follow. Of course. How'd I get here? You followed the raid train over from a mouse to a cat girl. Yes, please remember to read this pinned message. Let me tell you. You guys, I'm Rizu Mayonaka. I'm a cat girl who does cat things, which basically means whatever the fuck I want. And sometimes that means spending 3.5 years working in production management on a movie. I worked on Netflix's The Twits, which literally premiered today. It's a silly little movie about silly little, you know, twitty people. And I worked in production management on it, so I'm just talking about my experience on that. This is literally like the first time that I've ever actually talked about my job. So yeah, I just ask that everybody please be respectful. Please don't dox me. Please don't ask me doxing-like questions about my location, my name, my current position, my current studio, or anything like that. But yeah, I worked as a PA. I know you did. I know you did. When you told me, I was like, oh, interesting. That's why I was so excited. I was waiting for this. God, we need to talk, dude. We need to fucking talk. I would love to talk about your experience as a PA. Okay, raiders. Well, first off, Aqua, if you have to raid and run, that's okay. If you and your raiders want to head out or stay here, that's also okay. You guys do whatever the fuck you want, okay? It was bad. That's even more of a fun conversation. Listen. Working in entertainment isn't easy, okay? Okay, chat, don't worry about it. All right, so basic bitch, I graduated from college in May 2021 with a BA in animation and art. In June 2021, I was contacted by Netflix and I was asked if I wanted to be a production assistant on a film called The Twits, on a series called The Twits. And then by July 2021, I was working for Netflix Animation on this little show. And then in March 2022, you know, a little bit less than a year later, I moved closer because I used to live a little far. I moved closer to work. And I left everybody that I ever knew and loved, just like Rizu Mayonaka left everybody that she knew and loved to follow her dreams. And also in March 2022, Rizu Mayonaka, the silly little cat girl, debuted. I'm on a fucking high. Everything is going fucking great. What could possibly go wrong? Bam! We got canceled. We got canceled like, I don't know, 2 or 3 months after I moved, after I spent thousands of dollars to move. That's just the way that, that's just the way that the entertainment business rolls, bro. Of course, Aqua, no worries. But you know what? It's okay, because we didn't get canceled completely. We used to be a series, but our leadership team locked in and they rewrote the script into a movie instead of a series. And then we were able to stay. And Cartoon Brew wrote about us. And they said, not dead yet. And when they wrote that, we were like, wow, iconic, iconic. So that became our hashtag. If you guys see on the top corner over here, right above my head, I have it's a neon sign that says not dead yet. We literally use not dead yet all the time. There's actually a not dead yet Easter egg in the movie if you watch it. So, you know, keep your eyes out for that somewhere. So, unfortunately, we did get canceled as a series. We became a movie, but that meant condensing our team. So we did have to lose a lot of people on our team, unfortunately. And it was a difficult time. It was a difficult time. Oh my god, honey, you're so right. But yes, Rizu was one of the lucky motherfucking survivors, which was like, wow, thank God, because I literally just spent thousands of dollars to move closer to work. What the fuck? Thank you, Pally. Thank you. Oh my god. So yeah, not dead yet also applies to my ability to get a 3.0 GPA. Fuck yeah, bitch. You know what else is not dead yet? Your goddamn motivation. Chat, I know you got this. Pop off everybody here. You guys, remember, use this hashtag now. This could be yours now, besties. You're not dead yet, okay? Live your fucking life. Prove everybody wrong. So some people didn't get happy endings. Some people, unfortunately, had to roll off of our project. But luckily, some people found their place elsewhere. Some people did not. Unfortunately, everybody knows that the animation industry is not in a great position right now. So yes, a lot of people have been out of work, even like, you know, since before COVID. Yeah. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. All right, going back to the basic bitch of animation production. Wow. A team. You guys, a team is made up of the directors, the writers, and the other department heads. So we got story, the head of story, who's like the director, but of the story department. We got the storyboard artists who draw all the scenes before they're animated. We got edit, the lead editors, the editor assistants and stuff. Editors are the people who clip everything together. They put voices in it, they put music in it, and all that jazz. The CG department, we got previs, the previs supervisor, the previs animators, the animation director, the VFX supervisor, and then who helps all of these people? Who helps all of these people? Production! Wow, who knew? Who knew? I hope you guys. That means you're paying attention. So production is made up of the producer, the line production, the line producer, I spelled that wrong. The line producer, the production manager, supervisors of every other department. So like, you know, the art department, the CG department, the story edit department, etc., etc. The coordinators who assist the supervisors, and then the assistants who will also assist the coordinators and the supervisors. Yes. Wait a minute, what does production do again? God. Pay attention, Connor. We're gonna do a test later. I'm just kidding. We're not. That would be hilarious. Oh my god, I totally should have designed a quiz. All right. But yes, and basically, there's also more. Every show, every movie, every team has a different combination of all these things. Okay, besties, buddies, and pals. Did these nuts help with production? No, they did not. So sometimes some departments, like some production departments, like, you know, for example, perhaps the story edit department has a coordinator but no assistant. Perhaps they have no coordinator but they do have an assistant and all that stuff. The little things. We should do a quiz next time. That would be so funny. God, yeah. All right. And in addition to Netflix Animation Studios, we also work with our partner studio, Jellyfish Pictures. So, many animation studios have partner studios to help with the production stage. For example, on Twits, we did front end in-house. What that means is that pre-production, the writing, the storyboarding, the designing, and the editing was done at Netflix Animation Studios. But we partnered with Jellyfish Productions, who is in the UK, by the way. And they worked on, production stuff and a good bit of post-production stuff. So what that means is that they worked on like previs, which we shared with our own previs artists and stuff. So we had previs on both sides. I'll explain previs in a bit. But yeah, Jellyfish did the animation, which was led by our in-house animation director. And Jellyfish also worked on lighting, which was led by our production designer. And they also did digital imaging and all that jazz. So they help, bring everything to life under the guidance of the people over on our side. Yum, motherfuckers. Rizu Mayonaka is a very important part of every team. I agree with that. And I hope everybody else does. I hope my current job does. So I just want to say shout out to Jellyfish Productions for their hard work. The movie could not have been made without their crew. Unfortunately, Jellyfish Production closed down in March of 2025. Yeah. But you know what? They did a great job on our movie. Oh, yeah. I know, man. RIP. So yeah, so the Twits was the last movie by this studio. I believe that they still have a visual effects branch alive and kicking, but their main branch, unfortunately, has been closed down. So most departments have the same basic bitch fucking steps. Launching artists. So, you know, whether you're a storyboard artist, whether you are an animator, or whether you are a visual artist, the basic bitch steps are the supervisor of your department, the production supervisor of your department, chooses an assignment for the artist with the department leadership consultation. For example, if you are a story artist, the production supervisor of the story department talks to the head of story, and they're like, wow, what can we give to this artist, to this storyboardist? This storyboard artist is good at action scenes, so let's give them this scene. Or this storyboard artist isn't great at action scenes, so let's give them this other scene. Once something is assigned to an artist, the PA, the production assistant, or the coordinator, help launch the artist. They give them any references, they give them storyboards. If you're a visual artist and you need to design something that shows up in the storyboard, the assistant or the coordinator will look up all those references and they'll give them to you. They look up real life references, they give you the script pages, all of that jazz. Once one of the visual artists was all like, how big is a lamp post? And when I say a lamp post, I mean like a street lamp, like a street light, you know, the ones that you stop cars at. And I was like, oh, you know what? I'm exactly 5 feet tall. So I went out into the street and I took a picture next to a street lamp as well as a bus stop for reference. So yeah. Oh my god. Oh, so yeah. So, you know, that's what production assistants and coordinators do. They help all that. So after an artist is launched, they work on their thing. You know, they draw their prop. They design their character. They design their environment. The storyboard artists will, design their sequence. The animators, you know, will do what the storyboards did. Whatever. After that, you have some type of check-in with the leader of your department. So, for example, in the visual department, you have art director dailies or rounds. And you check in with the production designer or the art director. In the storyboarding department, you would check in with the head of story or the director. And, you know, you just have all these check-ins to make sure that you're going in the right direction. Once the leadership of your department has approved, then you head over to director reviews. So once something has been approved by the head of your department, the director will review your work and they will either give you notes or they will approve. So if they give notes, then you gotta keep on, you know, looking through and revising your work until, the director's happy. And once the director's happy, you're done. You tell us what the movie's about. It's about two twitty people. Two horrible, little old people. This horrible little married couple who likes to play pranks on each other. So that's what they do. And then two kids who want to stop them. And all that jazz. Yeah. So once somebody's done, we got partner turnover, which I like to call PA power hours. So that usually means shipping, whether it's from, the story department shipping all their files to the edit department, whether it's from the art department shipping their files to the motherfucking your partner studio. It takes some time, okay? Once a shipment took like 13 hours, and usually shipments would happen like on Friday. And I would have a shipment going in the background while I was playing with the Ghoul Gang on Ghoul Gang Fridays. But yeah, it was hard work. It was hard work. But yeah, basic bitch shipping. You know, the artists upload their final work somewhere. The production coordinators and assistants upload all their files into a server and stuff. They give it to the appropriate department, or you know, they give them to the production partner studio. Yeah. And then we would also organize everything into a playlist, like to present to our partner studio, to be like, yep, this is what we're gonna do. And then we would launch them. We would launch it with Jellyfish Productions. But yeah, remember Ghoul Gang Fridays? Yeah, 13 hours. Yeah. Files are big. Especially like, you know, big ass Blender files. Big ass Blender files. Rizu in the van during Ghosted Game, just checking her shipments. I literally like I would turn around to look at my laptop on like my side table, and it was like, yep, it's an hour 6. Yeah. So that's what I would do. So we can just talk about basic bitch shit. For example, what happens in a department, in an asset department, the design comes to life. Assets in Jellyfish's hands, design comes to life. So over on our side, over at Netflix Animation, if you do art, the art designs would happen in-house. So all of the artists were hired through us. And you know what, you guys? This happened like right during quarantine. And we had artists from around the motherfucking world. We had artists in Brazil. We had artists in France. We had artists in Spain. We had artists in Canada. They were everywhere. We had artists over here on the West Coast. We had artists over on the East Coast. And even like our production people and our leadership were in completely different places. So, like I said, it was also organizing times for meetings. Jellyfish is in the UK. So that would mean that our meetings would happen at 8 a.m. Pacific Coast time. And they would be happening at like 5 or 6 p.m. in the UK. And it was our first meeting of the day, and it was Jellyfish's last meeting of the day. So, like I said, who coordinates all that? Production! So a basic bitch, yeah. We give our fucking designs over to our partner studio, Jellyfish. And then Jellyfish, they model everything. And then they present the models to us. And the production designer and the art director go over the model. They give their notes or they give their approvals. Once everything is approved by the production designer and the art director, it goes over to the director himself. And then the director will either give revisions or will approve. And once everything is approved, that asset goes to surfacing. And so modeling, you guys have seen models. You saw a model in that video that we saw earlier. Models are usually just like one color thing. Like they're like gray, they're brown. There's nothing on them. There is no texture on them. Surfacing is where you apply textures. It's where you apply skin, you apply color, you apply cloth. And I don't know, if you guys ever watch the movie, you will see that our characters are textured in a very cool way. Like, it is very much just like, yeah, you could see stitches in these one places. You could see the embroidery over here on Mrs. Twits' skirt. You know? It's all of that jazz. And again, once we move into servicing, it's the same workflow as every department. It's, you know, Jellyfish makes something. They send it over to us to review. And then it's looked at by the production designer and the art director. And they give their notes. They give their approvals. We send it to the director. He gives his notes. He gives his approvals. And when something is done in assets, then eventually it gets rigged. And during rigging, they're also working on surfacing and rigging kind of happen around the same time. They're also working on, you know, hair effects and stuff like that, and cloth simulations and all that jazz. And then after that, eventually, everything goes to lighting. But yeah, you know, and again, with all this shit going on, we also have to make sure that the effects that are gonna be happening, that they fit with the style that our production designer wants. So from story to previs to animation to final lighting. So for example, in the story department, that pipeline is basically, again, a story artist gets their assignment, they pitch their stuff, and they get notes or they get approval, and then they eventually send it over to previs, also known as pre-visualization. So pre-visualization is basically like blocking. You guys, I feel like some of you probably know what animation blocking is. Animation blocking is like, you know, so when you animate something, you start off with the bigger poses and you make sure that those flow correctly. You're not doing it like, you know, how do I explain? If you were to animate your hand, you know, a fist bump into the air, you're starting with your fist bump with your arm close to you, and then you're ending it with your fist up in the air, all the way, your arm stretched up. So blocking would be starting with your fist down, and maybe your fist in the middle, and then your fist all the way up. Spline animation would be doing that whole movement. So in the same way the animation is blocked, the camera is also blocked. So in previs, they go in with either the models that we're currently working on, or they make you know, they make, what's the word, stand-in models. They'll make stand-in models, and they will try to make everything look like the storyboards, and then they put the camera in. And previs isn't just, you know, like, oh, so the camera should be here, we're gonna make it go over here, we're gonna make it go over there. It's also the camera ratio, the aspect ratio. It's deciding if something should be blurred and then come into rack focus. And it's just all of those things that happens in previs. So yeah, usually any available assets are built-in assets to get the camera view to match the storyboard and all that. So that's what happens after storyboarding. Once previs is approved, animation begins over at the partner studio. So animation happened over at Jellyfish Productions under the guidance of our animations director. His name was Jack. But yeah, isn't that called keyframes, or I'm confused? That is called keyframes. But like I said, so keyframes are basically blocking. You know, you shouldn't animate something going step by step by step by step. Like, you know, you're not animating every little inch at first. You're making sure that your poses work before going full in. But yes, that's a pretty detailed sketch for pre-visual. So this, I don't know if I can click into the thing. Is my, okay.
You're a good girl, Rizu.
I am a good girl, thank you. So this top picture of Mr. Twit, this is a storyboard. This is a storyboard, I believe, by our wonderful, amazing storyboard artist, David Trumbull. This one down here is actually a clip from the trailer. So this is the final lighting, the final compositing of what this storyboard is. So yeah, once everything's done in previs, it goes into animation. And again, that's the same workflow of, okay, here's your assignment, do it. Okay, here's my assignment, review it. You know, notes, approval, give it to the director, notes, approval, and once it's approved, it goes into final lighting and digital imaging. So in final lighting is like final lighting is where the production designer comes in a lot with his color scripts and stuff. I'm using pronouns because I'm thinking about the people on our team, okay? He comes in with his color scripts. And so what they do in final lighting is that our Jellyfish Productions tries to put in their digital lights and matches the color to the color scripts that our production director made. And then again, it's a lot of back and forth in that. It's do it, review it, address the notes, get approval, all that jazz. And then digital imaging is about the same thing. Once everything's done in final lighting, they go into digital imaging and they're just like, oh, like that looks weird in the back, move it. Or, oh, we need a little bit more brightness over here, move it. And all that jazz. We had a lot of dust mites. We had a lot of dust mites, especially in the Twits household because they're dirty people. So all of that stuff kind of was happening in digital imaging as well. But yeah, eventually you get what you see in the movie, which is this beautiful, silly little clip from the trailer. But yeah, so other responsibilities that production has to do, or at least what we ended up sharing. We ended up sharing asset spotting. You guys, what the hell is asset spotting? Oh my god, asset spotting is the bane of my existence. So asset spotting is when after there is a screening, or even if there's like, a script or something, right? But when we did major asset spotting was after a screening. So during the production of the movie, we had several screenings. I believe we had 8. So we present to the studio, hey, we have this. And then the studio gives us notes. But what we present to the studio in the screening is usually, like the animatic. It's the storyboards, it's the previs, it's the beginning animation. But if it's storyboards and previs, then what happens in asset spotting is we go through each fucking picture and we pick out what props are there, what environments are there, what characters are there. And we have to basically do like figure out what do we still have to build? What do we still have to build? What's already being built? And all that stuff. So yeah, basically, I've seen some of the Netflix things. Yeah, have you? Ooh, cool. Motherfucking, okay, yeah. So we go through the screening animatic, made up of storyboards at first, and look through each shot to find every character, prop, environment, vehicle, etc. For example, like down here, over here, in Mr. Twit's thing, over here in this shot of Mr. Twit, we would have to call out, oh yeah, this is Mr. Twit. That's the character from Mr. Twit. We'd have to call out what's in the background. The background, I think this is a Ferris wheel. We have this effects. We have to call out all the effects and stuff. And it's just like, well, do we have this yet? I don't know. And it's figuring all of that out. So we would have to watch, like an hour and a half, and we'd have to split it. We have to call out every prop, every environment, every vehicle, every character. But it's not just every character, besties, buddies, and pals. It's what type of character. So I'll talk about that right now in Blue Book. Blue Book was basically when everything was built on our side and we were ready for a sequence to go into animation. So during Blue Book, we would ship everything that belongs to a sequence over to Jellyfish Productions. And we would prepare and we would discuss the asset readiness. We would discuss the set dressing, We would have to add miscellaneous props to environments if they needed in a sequence. For example, I think it's shown in the trailer, but in the beginning of the movie, there's a big thing where they're driving around on the street. We have to, for set dressing, you add miscellaneous cars in the background that are parked. You gotta add meat chunks on the buildings, anything that's not actually a part of the set. Yeah. You would have to apply the scientific method to identify everything you had and everything you lacked, huh? Well, hopefully, if the art and asset department was doing its job, they would be, you know, flagging these things and hopefully making them. And if they weren't flagging these things and making them in the script, then they were after asset spotting. And then they would make them. But yes, good night, Hino. Oh, that's cool, bro. That's cool, Connor. But yes, and then we would also have to cast the characters, like I said earlier. So we would cast characters with help from the animation director, because the animation director knew, like, what background characters, what tertiary characters, or secondary characters could we cast as the person who does this, you know? For example, we need a background character for an angry mob. Which secondary, tertiary character is detailed enough to be seen at the front of this crowd? Which of them have the rigging capabilities for what we need, you know? Which of them can go fucking crazy at the beginning of this crowd? And all that shit. And then it was like, okay, also casting characters. Mr. Twit is in the scene. Okay. Which one? Mr. Twit with his hat on? Mr. Twit with his jacket on? Mr. Twit without his hat and his jacket? Mr. Twit with meat chunks on his body? Like, you guys have no idea how many submodels of each character we have. So that's everything that happens during Blue Book. During Blue Book, we call out and cast all of these things. And then we hand it over to Jellyfish. And we're like, here, these are the materials that you need to animate this sequence. And then from there, it goes into animation. And then from there, it goes into lighting and DI, etc. So that's kind of everything that happened. You know, kind of the explanation of the pipeline and stuff. And like I said, during all the basic bitch of it, the review it, you know, the giving notes and the shipping and everything, who takes care of all of that? Who takes notes during those meetings? Who gives those materials to the artists? Whether they're the storyboard artists or whether they're the visual artists. Who gives edit a schedule so that we can meet all of our deadlines? Production. Yeah. And yeah, like Billie Eilish, no. So when the background characters appear in spots they shouldn't, that's a sign of badass spotting? I think so. Sometimes people are definitely just like, nobody's gonna notice. Like, I don't know if you guys watch Miraculous Ladybug, but in Miraculous Ladybug, there's this specific character who's always showing up with like different kids in the background. So like people assume that she's a babysitter or something. But she also shows up with different like male characters. And that's because since they're a backgrounder, I assume that people don't, you know, really think about, oh, we showed this girl on a date with like, you know, this guy with a blue outfit. And then 10 minutes later, she's actually holding hands with a guy over here in a red outfit. I don't know. I would say that that's probably, you know, casting that wasn't thought about, most likely because background characters are not super duper uber pooper important to your story. And if they say something weird, we could say a mage did it. And if they notice something weird, yes, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes funny things are happening in the background, who knows? But yeah, all of these things happen in the background. Production management handles everything in the background. It's, you know, truthfully, artists and creatives really need production people to help them. And I'm not here tooting my own horn when I say that. I'm saying this from experience of people telling me, wow, you really helped. Yeah. Also, oh my god, honey. So, yeah, you know, I remember people who worked with me, who I assisted, messaging me when they rolled off of the show, and they were just like, hey, by the way, like, thank you for all of your work. Thank you for reminding me when the deadlines are. Thank you for giving me my notes. Thank you for like writing things in big red letters. Somebody told me I would lose my head if it wasn't for you. I lose my head. I lose track of my head on my shoulders if it was not for you. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, if you say so, if you say so. Like literally, I don't know. I think it's my anxiety that makes me a good production person, because I'm always like, what if something goes wrong? Because part of being a good person in the production management department is predicting things going bad and backup plans. So that was a lot of what we were able to do. I don't know, man. Even like when I would go on vacation or take a day off, I would write scheduled messages to the people who I was assisting, and I was like, hey, this is the ghost of Rizu, and I'm here to remind you that your thing is due by Thursday night. So please work hard. You know? And people told me that they were very thankful for all of that. But yes, contingencies for the contingencies you made when the main contingencies go bad. Yes, you know, fucking plan D, you know? So you're gonna make the next Spider-Verse? Well, that's a great question, Nkava. And you know what? NDA. So what is next for Rizu? So the Twits ended... Well, I rolled off of the Twits in late 2024. So as the show goes on through each production stage, departments start wrapping. For example, if you're in the animation stage already, you probably don't need story artists. Like, you know, if you're in the late animation stage, like if you're like 90% like in animation, you most likely don't need storyboard artists anymore. So that's when those departments start wrapping. So when those departments start wrapping, that means that the storyboard artists start wrapping. That means that the PAs and the coordinators start wrapping. You know, maybe the supervisors start wrapping. Example, if you're in the lighting stage already, then that means that you don't need arts and assets anymore. So, because everything has been made. If you're in lighting, that means that everything has been made. So you don't need designers. So the designers start rolling off, the people supporting them, the assistants and the coordinators start rolling off. So that's how that works. So by late 2024, my department was wrapping up as we got to the lighting stage. So in the summer and fall of 2024, I started job hunting because I knew that my wrap date was coming up at the end of the year. So I applied to several different areas, several different studios, several different positions, to be both either a production assistant or a coordinator. And then I finally got a job. I finally got a job in fall of 2024. I rolled off of the Twits and I went to a new job. And unfortunately, NDA. I can't talk about that shit because we are still, you know, ramping up and being made. And you know what? One day, if we're not canceled, one day I will gladly share my next project with you. You know, in like the next 3 years, or 4, or 5. I don't know, man. Things are hard. Things are hard. Rizu was approached to work on the Google Gang movie, but it got canceled. Honey, who would you play in the Google Gang movie? Tom? Why do you think Tom would be in the Google Gang movie, honey? God. But yes, I got a job. Thank God. I got a job. And hopefully in the future, I can talk about my job. But you know what, bitches? I had some super cool fucking adventures while I was working on the Twits. I met really cool fucking people. I met Guillermo del Toro. So that was cool. Pinocchio, Netflix's Pinocchio, won the Academy Award for animation. And so that means that Guillermo del Toro went to Netflix Animation Studios for a toast. And he did a Q&A. And the Q&A was moderated by Jorge Gutierrez. And it was really cool because Guillermo brought his like motherfucking Oscar. Guillermo brought his Oscar and he let us take pictures and hold it and shit. Oh man, my ads are coming in. But yeah, I asked him a question about Tales of Arcadia, Troll Hunters, the series and the movies and stuff. And I remember my supervisor called me a fucking nerd for asking that dumbass question. But yeah, I met Jorge Gutierrez, the dude from Death Stranding. Yeah. I met Jorge Gutierrez. Jorge Gutierrez is the director and creator of stuff such as El Tigre and The Book of Life. And he's also a producer to a good couple of other things. And he's really fun to chat with. Once I like sat next to him at like a club meeting. Oh my god. Okay, you guys, I was very anxious to talk to him. And I remember once, I think it was at the Guillermo del Toro like toast. But Jorge Gutierrez was there. And I remember I was talking to somebody on my team and I was like, oh my god, there's Jorge. I want to talk to Jorge and stuff. And he was like, I can introduce you. And he literally introduced me and I was like, oh hey, I'm Rizu. I'm a production assistant. You know, if you ever need a production assistant, call me up, you know, whatever. Hee woo. And he was like, yeah, okay. And he's really nice. So after that, every time I see him, you know, I'd just be like, oh, hey, Jorge, what's up? And all that jazz. Like, I was talking to him, and I was like, yo, Jorge, who's like, I was like, if you could play a superhero, who would you be? And he was like, if I could play any superhero ever, I would be Batman. And I was like, oh my god, nice. And then, you guys, if you like Batman, if you're in the DC news, Aztec Batman came out like a couple of months ago. And I was like, holy shit, dude. So I went over and I saw Jorge again. And I was like, hey, Jorge. And I'm like, oh my god, did you see that Aztec Batman came out? And he like laughed at me and he's like, I'm in Aztec Batman. And I was like, oh shit. And he was like, I play Batman's dad in Aztec Batman. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm so dumb because I probably knew that. I probably saw that news on Twitter and I probably fucking forgot because I have one brain cell. But yeah. Oh, and then like, bro, Jorge always had really cool guests coming over. Once, what's his name? Fluffy came over and I remember he was walking out and I turned over to my supervisor and I was like, yo, is that Fluffy? And she was like, I think so. And then Jorge was like, oh yeah, that's Fluffy. And we were like, oh shit, should we ask for a picture? And Jorge was all like, yeah, dude, he's super nice. Go ask for a picture. So we went into the parking lot. We chased him down. We were like, oh hey, Fluffy, can we have like a picture, please? And he was like, yeah, he was very nice. Besides that, I've met super cool people, you know, fucking like these people have been in the industry for forever. I've met people who worked on Moana, Big Hero 6, Bolt, How to Train Your Dragon, Mulan, Zootopia, The Sea Beast, Wreck-It Ralph 1, Wreck-It Ralph 2, obviously our director, directed Wreck-It Ralph 2. And like so many fucking people, I cannot even like say, like I literally sometimes in the animation industry, you're just surrounded by people who've been here forever. You know, like I'll just be like, oh hey, like, oh you know this really old movie and shit? This really old animated movie? And they'd be like, oh yeah, I worked on that. I'd be like, what the fuck? Okay. Goddamn. But yeah, and then I've also met really cool animation VTubers. I decided this year to be very brave and start reaching out to people. I found Gob and Nilbog through like TikTok and Twitter, and they're both very open about working in the animation industry. So I messaged them one day and I was like, oh hey, by the way, I also work in the animation industry, but like I'm a production assistant. And then, like, you know, through them, I met Rat Cousin. Mecha Mosey is also pretty open about how she works in the animation industry. Yeah. So, I hope I'm able to meet more, you know, animation VTubers or other streamers that work in animation. We're gonna have ads in like 20 seconds, so I'll probably take that time to catch up on chat. But, God, you guys, suddenly I've forgotten everything that I've ever done in the past few years. I don't know. Network like crazy. Yeah, dude. And for me, it's like not even like, you know, being like, oh, hey, like, I want to collab with you. It's kind of like, hey, the animation industry is very small and we might work together one day. So I just want to say hi. So that's it. Yeah. I don't know, man. God, I would love to work with them one day. I don't know. If anybody ever needs a production assistant on some type of project, then hit me up. I might be available, or I might not be, depending on how good my current gig goes. Oh my god. Okay, ads should be starting soon, and I don't want to continue with people in ad jail too much. So I'm gonna just catch up on chat, my friends. I hope that you've been enjoying the chat so far. It's just me being silly. Can you assist the production of my PhD research? No. No, I need a production manager to manage me to be productive. I mean, like, technically, I could come in and be like, hey, if you guys, you know, you need a schedule. Here's a schedule. Connor, you need to schedule when your assignments should be done. You know, give yourself enough time for your due dates, for your fucking assignments. You know, predict things. Predict how long each assignment is gonna take and all that shit. And you know what? I know how to do that. And I think a reason of me being so good working in production management was because that's what I did to myself and with Mr. Mayo in college. In college, I literally, like, my first year of college, in my community college, I literally blocked out all the classes that I would be taking for the next 4 semesters. So I was like, if I want to graduate on time, I have to take these classes. Because, like, you know, in college, like, they're just like, okay, you need to take these specific classes for your degree. And I'm like, okay, I'll take these classes this semester. I'll take these classes this semester. Oh, something didn't work out. Okay, what's my backup class? I gotta do this one. And I did that while I was in community college. I did that while I was in university. And I helped Mr. Mayo with that also while he was in community college and while he was in university. I literally planned out like 3 to 4 years of our lives so that we could get done with college, like, appropriately. So that's what I did. And you know what, Connor? It didn't always work out great. It didn't always work out great. Sometimes we had to do other things, but that's just how it is when you work in, well, when you're planning things, when you're scheduling things. Not everything goes good. But I don't know. I think that basic bitch, you know, that anxiousness, the drive to make schedules and to make everything be on time, I think that helped me become a good production person. Yeah. Hold up, I'm trying to scroll up so I can read chat. Meow, meow, meow. But yeah, Guillermo sounds like a good man. Every time I hear something about him, yeah, I mean, he's pretty, like, good to interact with. El Tigre was a banger. Fluffy is really chill. He liked that I just said hello and didn't make a big deal out of it. Yeah, you know, it was very much like the thing where we ran up to him and we were like, oh, hey, can we have a picture? Sure, okay, cool. Like, we're gonna leave you alone now. Because you're a person. Who would have guessed people working in animation would end up having an animated persona online? I know! I feel like being a streamer, being a VTuber, and also, like, you know, I like to do art streams. I feel like being a VTuber and streamer really helped me because, like I said, I studied art and animation, but I didn't go into it. I didn't pursue it because I became a production assistant. I started working in production. So I think that being a VTuber and a streamer and shit is like, it's my creative outlet. Bitch, you're pretty. Thank you. So yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed being able to do both VTubing and also, you know, production. And you know what? Also, I feel like my experience in production really helped me, you know, become like, it helps me manage myself and especially my projects, you know, like the stuff for subathons, donathons, my debuts, my anniversaries, my birthday events, and also my music. Like, I learned how to make what is called a waterfall schedule. And I made a big one for myself for all of my music with goals. You know, it's basically being like, if I want to, I don't know, record an album and have it be ready by next year in March for my anniversary, I need to get this shit done and recorded by, I don't know, January so that it can go into mixing and the video and all of that so it could be ready by March. So that's the type of thinking that I have to do. This is really interesting. I joined the Disney tour, the industry tour. Thank you, Archibald. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a big ass fucking nerd, so I enjoy talking about it. But yeah, I get it. It's cat time for bed. Okay. All right, of course. No worries, Connor. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sticking around and trying to monitor. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. All right, besties. So let's go through some fun stuff. I forgot most of my adventures, but let me just tell you the vibe. The vibe of the wonderful team that I was able to work with for the past 2 years. Our director, his name is Phil Johnson. Our director is crazy. He's insane. And he knows this. And that's okay. He loves collecting hobo clown paintings. And he loves silly jokes and silly things. And you know what? The Twits is full of all of that. And you will see it. So, for example, he brought all of his fucking hobo paintings to work. And he asked our building if he could hang them up. And he hung them all up in a hallway. And I will show you the hallway in a second. But as well, we have really fun events. We had a Halloween decoration thing. So our team did a bunch of arts and crafts and shit, and they made fucking worm spaghetti. They made like intestine like stuff. They made bird pie and all that jazz. And then this plushie over here on the right is Sweet Toad, who is a wonderful silly little character that if you watch the movie, I hope that you know and love. But you guys, let's talk about the hallway. The hallway. The hall that became known as Clown Hall was full of portraits of hobo clown paintings. And even better, they let us write on the fucking walls. So we wrote on the fucking walls. You know, for example, right here we have a couple. If you steal, the clowns will come for you. Smile, the clowns are watching. Help me. Why so serious? And then there's a bunch of little caricatures. Oh my god. I'm insane and that's good. I swear I'll never be sane and that's not bad. There's no one I'd rather be than me. Yeah! Oh my god. It looks less creepier than the Fallout 76 clown painting. I don't think I've seen that one, you. Send it to me. Yes, Chlorophobia final boss. Oh my god, you know what's even worse? Okay, let me guys tell you about the clown hall. So like I said, it was literally a hallway. And it's not a hallway. It's not a big hallway. It's a tiny fucking hallway, you guys. This hallway is only like 3 feet wide. Okay, it is only like 3 feet wide. It is a fucking nook. And it's a shortcut to get to the kitchen. And it's right next to where our edit team was. And one of our edit assistants had a fear of clowns. And even though the shortcut to get to the kitchen is right there, she could not walk through the clown hall. But she was terrified. So she had to go the long way around to get to the goddamn kitchen. So yes, one day, my friends, the clowns disappeared. The clowns disappeared. For some reason, they were relocated. They were relocated to another nook somewhere on the floor. I don't know why. So what we did with the wall that we had already written all over was we made it into collage hall. So everybody got this old ass fucking, I don't know, I literally don't know where the fuck they got them from. But they got like these old ass fucking newspapers and they would cut shit out and they would just glue them onto the wall. I don't know why. I don't know why. But everybody loved this picture of this motherfucking kid over here on the left. They loved it so much. So they photocopied a shit ton of pictures of him and they just pasted it all over this wall, all over this column. And you guys, like I said, Jellyfish was in the UK. So our meetings were at 8 a.m. and a lot of our team was remote. So sometimes I would go to work in person into the office. And when I would walk in, the halls were dark because nobody was in yet because it's 8 a.m. And so I'm going through the fucking dark hallways and I see this fucking shit. This terrifying child staring at me. And then the lights turn on. Terrifying. Okay, we also had these giant fucking clown statues. We have these giant fucking clown statues. And I don't know why. They're our directors. And you know what? He moved and he took them with him. And we did a video call recently. He fucking... He nailed one of those clown statues to his wall. I don't know. So in conclusion, we're crazy. We're crazy. That's the vibe of our team. We're silly. In addition to our hallway, decorating our hallway, we had these giant fucking boards. These boards, you guys, they're either 4 by 4 feet or they are 4 by 6 feet tall. And so the art department, the prod of the art department would print out these giant motherfucking posters just showing the art of everything from our characters to our sets to like concepts of things. For example, over here on the bottom left, we have a collage of a bunch of sets inside the Twitch house. And then on the top right, we have a collage of all the things that were designed and built for a special scene in the movie called the Bedlevator. And so Art Prod had to mount these giant fucking things. They had to print them all out. And then present them. They would put them up in the hallway, they would put them up in the rooms, and it would serve as not only decoration for other teams to look at our stuff and be like, oh shit, look what they're making, but also would serve as a representation for, you know, studio leadership, studio executives, so they could see what we're working on, that we're working hard, and also so that they could give notes if needed. But yeah. In addition to that, we were very, like, you know, we loved each other a lot. So we had what we called the Gymstagram. The Gymstagram is basically a collage of a bunch of printed out photos of all the crew doing silly things in our adventures. And so we would just post a thing. We also had a thing called the Twitter. And what that was, it was a board of letters in which you could leave notes for people. So yeah, it was just really fun decorations. And then this is a crew photo of all of us, I think for our second screening. I blurred out my face. Don't worry about it. But we're a great silly little team. And then another photo of a different screening, actually. You can't really tell because that woman in pink is always wearing the same outfit. Oh my god, yeah. Crazy. Okay. And then, of course, like I mentioned previously, we met Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo del Toro came over with the Oscar when he won for Pinocchio, and we got to take pictures with him. And he was cool. He was nice. He let people hold the Oscar. And also he had the puppet of Pinocchio with him. Sick. A wild Christopher Sean would appear. Christopher Sean is the voice of Netflix's Ultraman. Ultraman, like I said, is a Netflix animated movie that came out like, I want to say 2 years ago at this point. I don't know, it's hard. Everything kind of blends in together. But it came out, I think, 2 years ago. It's beautiful. At least watch the opening scene, you guys. The opening scene is so beautiful. Watch it in the dark. Because it's just, the lighting is so good. So good. But yeah, so Christopher Sean is the voice for Netflix's Ultraman. He was also the voice actor for Nightwing in Gotham Knights. But once we were having a tie-dye thing, so I made a tie-dye shirt and I made it for Mr. Mayo. It's over on the left. And I didn't have anyone to hold it up, so I displayed it over Ultraman. And I was like, look, my new boyfriend just dropped. Anyway, Christopher Sean is really handsome and he's really nice, and so he let me take pictures with him. And then at our rap party, you guys, what the fuck? At our rap party, Christopher Sean appeared. I was taking pictures with Mr. Mayo, and Christopher Sean walks in, and I point at him and I was like, is that Ultraman? And he laughs and he's like, yeah. And he was like, can I take a picture with you guys? He asked to take a picture with us, which I thought was really fucking cute. And I was like, yeah, sure, bro. So yeah, that's Mr. Mayo and me and Christopher Sean. Hee Mr. Mayo became the third wheel. Mr. Mayo looks drippy fit with that cane. Thanks, he needs it. He needs it so that he can walk around in the dark. But I literally, I told Mr. Mayo and I was like, wear an outfit like this, wear your jacket, wear your hat, wear your boots, wear your glasses. He got these really cute circle sunglasses. And I was like, I'm gonna wear a black dress. We're gonna go in fucking style. But yeah, so thank you, DK. Anyway, yeah, Christopher Sean's really nice. I actually, at the rap party, we chatted for a little bit and he was just cool to talk to. Shout out to Christopher Sean. But basic bitch, our rap party happened over at the Egyptian Theater on September 17th, I believe. The dress looks really good on you. Thank you. Thank you. It's one of my favorite fucking dresses. My mom bought it for me, actually. So this is us at our rap party over at the Egyptian Theater in Hollywood. And these are the 3D cardboard printouts of our characters. On the left, we have Marty and Mary Mugglewump. Behind us, we have Mr. and Mrs. Twit. And then on the right, we have Bubsy and Bisha. So yeah, you'll see those characters in the movie and all that jazz. So at the end of the day, you guys, oh look, it's me. Wow. I'm seeing double, 2 Rizus. At the end of the day, you guys, you know, consider watching the Twits. Available on Netflix now, live today. It's a silly little movie made by a silly family of Twits. You know, oh God, I'm trying hard. I'm trying hard not to get emotional. And I'm not gonna fucking cry, because I'm not a little bitch. Okay, I'm spoiled to have a crew as amazing, caring, understanding, and nurturing as this for my first fucking project. It's filled with farts and dumb jokes, but it's our dumb jokes, okay? Like I said in my Discord, we're not Coco. We're not Toy Story. We're not groundbreaking. It's just a silly little movie. It's just a silly little movie. Honestly, yeah, it's just a silly little movie made by silly people. And you know what? I worked really fucking hard on it, okay? I worked so hard on it. You have no idea. You guys, I don't know if you guys have ever seen my Discord status. My Discord status is boss bitching. And it has been boss bitching for several years. And that's because I am constantly boss bitching because of work. It's every day, every weekday of working and helping people. And it's overtime with working and helping people and making sure stuff gets done, you know. But yes, trust me, when my Discord status says that I'm boss bitching, that's what I'm doing. I put my fucking blood, sweat, and tears into this silly little movie and making sure that, you know, it comes out. So, and it came out. And you know what? This is my first fucking movie ever. It is my first movie. It's my first show, literally straight out of college. like 2 months out of college. This is my first job. You know? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's my first movie, and it's not gonna be my last. I'm gonna keep on fucking going. To quote you, Pop-Off Queen, thank you. Perhaps a naive question, did the fact that it was a Roald Dahl story add anything? I hold them high in my heart. Well, it is rooted, you know, it's inspired by Roald Dahl. It apparently was my producer and my director's like favorite fucking Roald Dahl story. So they were all like, you know, like, yeah, these main pranks, you know, these people with their silly and their rotten fucking personalities would fucking love it. So yeah. Yeah. A bad bitch never stops boss bitch and queen. Thank you. I'm glad they got the right people for it. Oh yeah, dude. Like literally our producer was like, she was all like, oh yeah, like the Twitch was my favorite story. And she was like, it's my dream project. And she was like, and now I got to do it. Yeah. And listen, I'm going to tell you guys this because there have been complaints about it already. Motherfucking, you know, it's a short story by Roald Dahl. You can't make a 90-minute animated movie based off of a silly little short story. So, you know, they took the core of that short story, their personalities, their pranks, and stuff, and they extended it into a silly little original movie. And so you know what? Like all art, whether it is music or, you know, a digital art piece, or a dance, or a movie or a show, there will be people who will like it, and there will be people who don't like it. And you know what? A wise man once said, who gives a fuck? So who gives a fuck if people don't like it? It's okay. And you know what? I like to be a boss bitch. I like to say that I'm not a little bitch, but truthfully, I am. And I'm really sensitive, and I'm trying to stay away from looking at reviews and shit because I know it's not a perfect movie, and I know it doesn't have the best story and all of that jazz. But at the end of the day, it's a silly movie made by us. And who cares if it's not, you know, it ain't Oscar winning, probably. Even if it's a silly plot, it came out, people can see it now. Also, it's a job, fresh out of college. Exactly. Also, oh my god. Hold up, I want to show you guys something. Okay, so you guys, this is Bubsy, right by me. This kid right here. This kid is Bubsy. His name is Bubsy. He is one of our silly little main characters. He is voiced by this kid named Ryan Lopez. When we started designing Bubsy, we didn't have an actor for him. And so we were designing Bubsy very, very loosely, right? We were like, well, when he gets casted, we'll base that character off of whoever gets casted. So we casted Ryan Lopez, and Ryan Lopez is Hispanic. And Ryan Lopez was a very cute looking kid. He like had a missing tooth. He had really big fluffy hair. And we're like, okay, Bubsy is going to be Hispanic. He's going to take inspiration from Ryan Lopez. And what's something that was really nice that we got to do was us. The Hispanics on our team, we decided to give pictures of our family members. We gave pictures of our family members to the artists. And we're like, you know, this is what we looked like as kids. This is what my cousins looked like. This is what my brother looked like as a kid. You know, my brother had really crazy curly hair, like afro-like hair when he was a kid. My little cousin has really big crazy curly hair as a kid. And we're like, you know, here, this is our different skin tones. This is our different hair textures. And so, yeah, so like low-key, my brother and my cousin are very, 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 very distant inspirations for Bubsy's character design. At the end of the day, Ryan Lopez ended up being the core character design inspiration. But at some point, the art director showed me a picture of Bubsy where he looked more like my actual brother, and I was like, oh my god. We didn't go with that design, of course, but it was just very fun, and it was nice to be able to have that liberty to give that as an option in the first place. Yeah. You don't really need to see the reviews this early. Yeah. When the trailer came out the other day, I started looking at comments, and some were good and some were bad, and I was like, you know what? I don't care. I don't care. It's fine. If James Gunn can make a character from a very obscure DC anti-hero, you and your team can make a movie from a short story. Yeah, exactly. So, you guys, I want to tell you something. Like I said, you know, please respect my privacy. Please respect my privacy as Rizu, as a real person, and all that stuff. But if you really want to go into the credits, you will find your favorite feline. Bonita! Well, Bonita, hermosa, preciosa, pulgosa is in the credits. And so is her bird brother, Tito. Tito was my cockatiel for a couple of years. Unfortunately, he passed away in the middle of production. So I was able to add both Bonita and Tito into the production assistance credits. So yeah, you know, if you want to look for anybody's credit, you can look for theirs. Yeah. Welcome in, Grilbert. Welcome in. Thank you for the motherfucking follow. But it's funny. It's just funny, you know? My cat's in here. Oh my god. Excuse me. Anyway. Hold up, I have to burp. Meow, 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 meow. Wow, wow. Oh shit, we did get the 400. Oh my god. You're right. Yes, Bonita was in the credits. Look at her. Bonita hermosa preciosa. Anyway, so I do have this 15-minute fucking video by DreamWorks. I'll show you the beginning of it because it's 15 minutes long and we don't want to be here. But I'll show you it. If you guys want to watch it, I'll post it in my Discord. I'll post it on social media. It's really educational. We watched a 5-minute version of the pipeline walkthrough earlier, but this one is DreamWorks. Again, I'll show you only the beginning because this is actually a guide of the pipeline narrated by the penguins of Madagascar.
Hiya, troops. My name's Skipper. You probably recognize me from my wildly successful Madagascar movies. I stole a lot of scenes and a lot of hearts. But I wasn't born a handsome and well-dressed movie star. No! The talented people at DreamWorks Animation made me what I am. Now keep up, privates.
Yes, sir.
It's no walk in the park making an animated feature film. Takes grit, spit, and a whole lot of duct tape to get these movies out there to John Q. Public. Now this beautiful piece of machinery here is the pipeline. Movies flow in only one direction in my version, but in reality a scene can make stops out of order, in reverse, loop-de-loop. You get the picture. But we're gonna keep it simple for now and go straight forward through this baby. We have 15 stops to make, so strap on your safety goggles, hold on to your butts, and let's dive into the first stop. Commence operation, make a movie. First up, story. Now, great movie ideas don't just jump into our laps. Some are completely original. Some come from children's books, comic strips, really just about anywhere. But here's some exclusive intelligence from the front lines. Madam Director,
The director's role in the movie is to have the vision for the film so that the 300 or 400 people working on the film can all be working towards the same purpose. First, we have a script, but a movie is not just a script. We have to visualize it into the medium that you will see in the theater. And the first step to do that is to do a storyboard.
The job of a story artist is to take the script and to kind of draw out the comic book version of the movie. We draw thousands of drawings to kind of come up with a sequence, and we take that, we pitch it back to the director, to the story team and producers. They get the visual concept of what the script could be.
If everybody likes it, which is doubtful.
Well, it's not that doubtful. We do good work, and sometimes they really like it.
The story panels are turned over to the editorial department. Yeah! Shiitake mushrooms! Editor.
But oh wait, let's go through edit really quick.
Sketches together in a story reel, so the directors, producers, and executives can see a blueprint of the movie. Truth is, this elite unit has their mitts on the film throughout the entire process. How's it going there, editorial? You keeping up?
That's right, so we take the storyboard panels and we build a sequence out of those. At that time, of course, we don't have any dialogue because the actors have not recorded yet. So we record ourselves doing the voices, the director, storyboard artists, whoever's kind of around who can do a relatively good performance. We then add a little music, sound effects, whatever's needed to tell the story. We try to make it as polished as possible. So that storyboard reel becomes the sort of foundation of the movie. Normally editing is associated with the post-production side of movie making, but in this case, you're right there at the very beginning. You're throughout the whole process, but at the very beginning is quite critical because you're still trying to figure out what the movie's about. And it's
exactly. So like I said, this is like a 15-minute long video, but it's really educational if anybody cares about going deeper into the animation pipeline. And it was made by DreamWorks, and it's really cute. So I recommend watching it. I'll leave you guys a silly little link throughout. But oh god, that's it, besties. I don't know. I don't know what else to talk about. I don't know what else to talk about. But you know what? We made a movie. We made a movie. Wow, we made a movie and it's available now on Netflix for you to watch. And you know what, besties, buddies, and pals? If you are in my silly little Discord, if you're in my Discord, we will be holding a Discord watch party on Monday after work. Yeah. I like the bestie baby bunny did too. Yay, I'm so glad. Also, Shady said yes. All right, I'll DM Shady, I guess. A silly little invite. Oh my god. But yeah, the time I assume is still gonna be 7:30 p.m. PST for the Discord watch party. Unless something happens like overtime, which happens a lot. And you know what, you guys? Now I can be transparent with you about what's going on in my life as I work on another movie. Yeah, so we're working towards a screening deadline. And that means there's a lot of overtime right now. So if I am harder to book for collabs and stuff, it's because of this. It's because of screening deadlines, overtime, and overall boss bitching. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. I love this stream so much. I learned a lot. Yay, I'm so glad. I really wanted it to be like educational and like, you know, broad. I definitely think that a lot of people, like, some people know, you know, people are just like, oh wow, the animators did so good on this, you know? Like, for example, let's see. I don't know. Somebody will be like, oh, the animators did so good on this. Look how beautiful it looks. The animators didn't make it look beautiful. That was the surfacing artists. That was the lighting compositors. That was the digital imaging artists, you know? And all that jazz. The animators, you know what the animators did? Their job. The animation part of it. They animated the characters and stuff, you know? So people will be like, oh, you know, the animators did such a good job on like this, you know, character. the animators didn't design the character. You know who did? The character designers. And all that stuff. Everybody always, like, when praising an animated movie, people are just like, oh yeah, the animators popped off. Animator is not the only position on an animated movie. It is made up of several different artists, and behind those artists are several different people in production management as well. So that's basically what I wanted the takeaway of this to be. Yeah, everybody's doing this, everybody's doing that. And behind it all is production. Making sure it all flows together better. Hopefully. It's interesting to learn the process to go into the creation of animated films. Yeah, it definitely is. And like, God, there were so many things that I never really thought about before I like started working in animation. Like, you know, I don't know. I didn't think about the fact that like the crowds had to be designed as crowds, you know? I didn't think about reflections. They're not real reflections, you guys. It's an image composited into like something else, you know? It's interesting just to think about all of those things. What else? You know, like this, again, reflections aren't real reflections. This is an image that was composited into this glass shard. You know? And just a bunch of silly little things. I don't know. You don't really think about the detail of the mouth of a character if you're not going to go up close to it. And then later on, you're all like, oh shit, actually, we're going to get pretty close to that character's mouth. And we should go back into surfacing and make it look prettier. You know, all that stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. I recommend going and watching that DreamWorks short that I'm going to send you guys if you wanna. You know, when you watch a movie, go closer into it. Think closer into it. But yeah. Oh my god. But I don't know, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed my silly little talk today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that it was educational. I hope that now people understand why I'm so hard to book with and stuff, because I'm constantly working. I'm definitely watching the Twinks now. What's the Twinks? That sounds like a great movie. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean don't Google it? What? Why? You're so right. You're so right. I know. Oh my god. But no, it's funny because I was actually talking to my cousin on the phone yesterday. And they were all like, oh yeah, hey, like, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm fucking amazing, dude. Like, my movie's coming out tomorrow. And they were all like, oh yeah, your movie, The Twats? And I was like, well, it's The Twits, but like, it means the same thing. It means the same thing. But yeah, you guys, if you have Netflix, go and watch The Twits. It's only 90 minutes-ish long. Silly little movie, silly little jokes, made by silly little cat girls and company. And if you don't have Netflix, you can join us in Discord for a Discord movie night on Monday. I'll make some little announcements and stuff later on. But you guys, I'm tired. I'm tired and I don't know what else to talk about. If I come up with more silly little anecdotes and adventures, I promise that I will let you guys know. But I don't know. I guess we can start cooling down. Thank you for the head pads. Thank you for the head pads. Thank you guys for your company today. I know I talked a lot. How annoying. Am I right? God. In the presence of Rizu, unfucking likely. What do you mean? We're cooling down. We can cool down. La 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 la. God, I feel like that Lizzie McGuire thing. Yep, that's my life. How's it go? Yep, that's my life. I hope you enjoyed something. Because I know I did. Yeah, that's my life. I hope you enjoyed learning about it, because I know I did. I'm also tired. I already forgot the movie name. Thank God I have Netflix and I can look it up. Hell yeah! It's called The Twits. Oh, let me put it in caps. The Twits. La, 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 la. Let me look up the trailer again so I can send you guys the link. I spelled it wrong. Oh no, twinks are showing up. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Here you guys go. The trailer for The Twits. The Twits. The Twinks understood. No, no, not that one. Here's The Twits. Okay. The Twits, the Twats, whatever. Yeah. Whatever. It all means the same thing. It all means idiot. Where are my friends? Alright, I'm tired. Let's look for somebody to raid. The Twinks, the most anticipated movie of the year. Oh god, in some households, probably. Probably. The Twinks, starring Soggy. This movie makes a twitlion. We will get Rizu to eat Sardinian cheese. No. Good night, bestie. Thank you for being here. Shout out to Honey for watching my movie. I hope you enjoyed it.
Good girl.
I am a good girl. Thank you. So, I think that we can probably take this opportunity to go ahead and raid into somebody else who is very open about working in the animation industry. Goodbye. We're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna send you all over to Nilbog. Nilbog has been very open about, also being an animator. Well, I say also being an animator. I'm not an animator. About being an animator in the industry. So, yeah. I will see you all over there. I'm so tired. Please go watch my movie this weekend. I'm gonna watch it like every fucking day. I watched it today. I'm watching it tomorrow with my family for the first time. I'm watching it on Saturday with some friends. On Sunday with some friends. I'm watching it on Monday with you guys. Yeah. It'll be great. Thank you guys for hanging out, for being so patient and listening to me ramble. I hope you learned something. And I will see you all next time. Please don't forget, go watch The Twits on Netflix. I'll see you over at Nilbugs. Be safe, behave, and until next time, besties, buddies, and pals, good night!